Wow, folks, we are live. Welcome
We
to,
are, and dead.
live and, well, let's not be there quite just yet. Welcome to Dungeons, Dragons, and Discourse, your twice a month delve into, I have no idea,
Stuff.
into stuff.
Stuff. I say
Glenn,
stuff.
Glenn and I, our show prep is you, the live
Yes.
audience.
And
Without,
Wizard Tower, Doc Cross, and Michael Anderson, the early birds, hello.
hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
How are you? By the way, if you haven't noticed, StreamYard has added. I don't I don't know why they call it, like, what do they call it, like a headline or something like that. It allows us to add a
Mm-hmm.
tag, so the tag is pretty cool. Um,
I
and
might have to change mine every. I might have to change mine every week, every show. I don't know.
perhaps I don't know either, but I'm enjoying it so far. So,
So let's get down to business here.
Doc, what's up?
How are you, and what's up with you?
What is up with me? Well, being that last Friday was the if gaming, we thought gaming was going into like the shitter with the OGL drama. Last Friday was the on the third day he rose again in fulfillment of the scripture, because
Well, I always thought this to me. This is an exciting time to be a
oh
gamer
God, yes.
because all the different things that was prompted by this.
Well, I mean, I can good. I just got an email from Goodman Games, and Goodman Games, their
Mhm.
best month of sales ever in the history of Goodman Games was January 2023. I believe that is the same for Frog God, Troll Lord. Paizo sold out on like 8 months worth of physical
Stuff.
stock for Pathfinder 2. So
Hey, I
it was
I
huge.
did my part.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a huge month because the beginning of the month you had the panic of, we don't know if WotC,
Mhm.
the wicked wizards of the West Coast, were going to yank the original OGL and basically put people's companies, products and product lines in limbo, and
We
people.
had we had we had about 3 or 4 YouTube videos saying, "Hey, we won," and 3 or 4 YouTube videos saying, "No, they're not over yet." So I'm somewhere in the middle
Well,
here. I'm taking a wait and see attitude about it.
yeah, I mean, do I trust Wizards of the Coast? No, they've shown themselves to be pure. And, don't we take this as to be slanderous or libel? Okay, it's my personal opinion. They've shown themselves to be untrustworthy assholes, but they know that they are untrustworthy assholes because they said, "Well, we know that you're not going to trust us unless we actually do something pretty big. Hey, we're going to take our 5.1 SRD and we're going to put it into
Hey,
Creative
you,
Commons."
you don't have to watch your enemies because you know what they are.
Oh yeah, oh
And and usually they admit it.
oh yeah. Although I will say there are, and I've mentioned this in other live
Right
streams.
on, Doc.
Um, when this whole OGL thing started, the fire started burning, and
Hmm.
the wagon started circling, there were people that were reaching out to me that literally surprised the freaking shit out of
Yeah.
me, because these are people who, and listen, there. If you think when you talk behind a walled garden and it's more than you and one other individual, if you're talking behind a walled garden community and there's like a couple of dozen people involved, I can guarantee you that one or two are just there because they want to see what's being said and they're
Hmm.
gonna share that information. So I know the people behind walled gardens that are my detractors and what they say about me. So when these people reach out to me during the OGL drama, and I was like, "Oh, longtime fan, always been following the Tavern. Do you think we could get a little publicity on some stuff here?" Because it was a movement that was affecting everybody, left, right, central. Didn't matter where you stood politically. Didn't matter what you were as a publisher, big or small. We were all going to be affected. We were all going to get
Yeah. I knew it was really, really bad and serious when Chris Gonerman came out and said, I'm doing a new edition of Basic Fantasy and getting all the OGL out.
Yeah.
That was something to me. It's okay, I'm taking this seriously now.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of things now. I think there's a lot of things that are good that are going to come out of this. I mean, I've been speaking with Alex Macris, and Axe is going to be coming out with its own SRD, which can be used for OSR games. But not only that, it's going to begin. The OGL is going to be removed. It's going to be rewritten. It hasn't been rewritten since it was first published. I love Axe. I'm going to probably fall in love with Axe all over again with something like this. Then you have Cities Without Number by Kevin Crawford, who has come out and said, hey, listen, I don't see that, my core system being protected by copyright. Anybody can publish anything using it, but I understand the desire for something more than just my words. So what he's going to do is he's going to release the core engine behind Cities Without Number and Worlds Without Number.
Stars Without Number.
It's probably going to be Rules Without Number. Probably a good way he could put out the SRD.
That's pretty good.
And he's going to put it out under CC0. And CC0 is effectively copyright free, public domain. So it's a beautiful, beautiful gesture to the community. So this is the world we're in now. We didn't lose the OGL 1.0A, but we've learned we can live without it, and that's a beautiful.
Well, on a related note, when they during this, where they're saying, buy your stuff now to at least support the people who are putting out on a 1.0. And I couldn't do much, but I did get this. This is Greg Gillespie's Mega Dungeon Monster Manual.
Right.
And let me tell you, I owe him a review on this because this could be a backup monster manual because it's got all the monsters from his 4 mega dungeons in here in one place. Plus, I think he put a few more in there. And half of them are like stuff you use all the time, use anyway, which makes it really handy. You got stuff like the Grell or, Whites and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And look, an orc version of Thanos.
Uh-oh.
That's what it looks like.
Could that be a copyright violation? Not that I want to say such, but good.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see a gauntlet on his hand.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Devil Ham, it is a very exciting time to be a tabletop RPG fan. Because, listen, I do believe that the community as a whole has a new appreciation for third-party publishers. Because the reality is 5e stuff directly from Rockty has been kind of shitty for the last 2 years or so. So this was possibly one of their ways to, shut out third-party publishers that were overshining them. If your competition is putting out better shit than you,
then you put out better.
Exactly, Glenn.
Basically up your game.
Yeah. It ain't that hard. Well, I mean,
no.
Maybe
I think they're trying to do all this stuff and this on top of it. They're just, as far as I'm concerned, they should just up their publishing game and stop spreading themselves too thin.
Yeah.
Because they really are. That's the problem. They're spreading themselves too thin because they want the digital presence. They want a publisher, maybe the publisher, the virtual tabletop and all this other stuff that they're focusing on.
Well, I think that the actual physical tabletop is their least, that's the one they're putting the least amount of effort into. And actually, with the Creative Commons for the SRD for 5.1, I think that they're kind of seeding the battlefield on that one. It's like, tabletop, that doesn't work. That doesn't work shit.
Yeah, 5.1. What if they put out a 5.2? and they decide not to do. Yeah, you know that if they're going to do it once, they're going to try it again.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, folks, there is a link on the bottom of the screen. The link on the bottom of the screen is for the Pathfinder 2 bundle of holding. I am not a Pathfinder player. However, I had the first edition Pathfinder beginner box. It was amazing. I had it in physical. So when the Pathfinder 2 beginner box came out, I grabbed it again in physical. Listen, even in PDF and digital format, there's so much in it. And it makes Pathfinder a game as an old school DM that I could actually not just see myself playing, but potentially running. Nothing heavier than the beginner rules for me. But for $5, you get the beginner box, you get the core rules, and you get the bestiary and a few other things. You can go as high as 25 and you get adventure pass and all that stuff. But for my money, I think $5 for me is a sweet spot. So if you go and you shop from the link below, you put a few coins in your bartender's tip basket.
Right.
It's appreciated. We love you long time.
I encourage people to get this too. I hear it's a really nice thing. I myself don't play Pathfinder. I don't care for Pathfinder because it's a little too close to 3E for my liking. But as I told Eric previously, if I'm going to play Pathfinder, I'll play the Savage Worlds version of Pathfinder.
See,
because the system's just easier for me. That's all.
See, now we could probably do a whole episode one day on Savage Worlds powers and spells because I could understand the system except for the powers and spells, and that's where it was kind of like
I pretty much understand it. It's a point. It's another point buy, but it does feel like a mechanic inside a mechanic.
Okay, so my confusion isn't misplaced. Then I will accept that.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, it can be a little rough, but once you get the mindset, see, I saw it as, oh, come on, I stopped playing Champions a long time ago, and now I got to start point buying stuff again. But that was, Champion's sort of an extreme example of that.
Yeah. So, for me, like point buy was the only point buy system I really got into at any length of time was GURPS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Savage Worlds is a point buy, but it's very, very like, you're only fooling around with 10 points at the most.
Okay.
So it's not like 50, 100, 200 points build or something like that.
Are you?
I like those. I like those point buy systems. And once you do the point buy, then you can go. You don't have to sit there and buy more stuff, or you customize it once and you're done.
I got you.
I mean, yes, you'll advance, but
right. But it's not, you don't have to recalculate.
Oh God, I play. That's what happens when that's what happened when I played GURPS Supers. Every time the guy would give us any experience points, I had to rework my character, and it's like, this is not fun, not at all.
Well, but I'm sure it was well balanced.
Yeah, right. This is me we're talking about, okay?
Oh, so. You were trying.
I'm the kind of guy. We had a rules lawyer in our champions group, and I had a character that, in fact, every character I did, he wanted to check the math because it's like, no, this costs this. You're not getting a break on this limitation. This costs this, and I'm always screwing up the math on it.
Oh,
so yeah, it's me. What was I going to say? Oh, how's your podcasts and stuff? Like, Gamers Health and
Gamers Health has been doing very well. With a good episode last week. Nice number. We had over 20 people in the live stream, which for Gamers Health is huge. I mean, let's be honest. It's a Saturday night with me and my wife talking about health issues and recently talking about stress and stuff that was going on in the industry because of the OGL drama, and again, it was all well received. Don't get me wrong, and it was really great. But we had a huge turnout, and then Rach was joking because she was like, she's like, you're falling behind on the chat. I'm like, yeah, we got people watching. It's like, I mean, last Friday when we were doing the random party generator, that was the day that the OGL news dropped that, oh, here we're adding it to the SRD, and we're not. The OGL is here for now. We hit over I think 114 people in the live stream at one point.
Wow!
I had to devote myself pretty much to just putting comments up on the screen and praying that nobody asked me a question, because I was literally 20 to 30 minutes behind most of the stream.
Really?
So it was good.
Well, there's happening in Grognard land. I'm retooling the show, Radio Grognard.
Oh,
in case anybody didn't know, I'm retooling the show to 3 times a week, up to 30 minutes. And my current daily show ended on the 31st, which coincided with being the 1600th episode. And I decided to take the rest of the week off on the weekend to retool the whole show. And I'll be back on Monday the 5th, back on to do my thing again.
Very nice.
I've already got the open and close done. I haven't recorded anything yet, but I've been stockpiling things to talk about, basically. I opened it on my OneNote and just started typing, okay, what topic should I give to this show? And it's going to be like, okay, guys, we're going to try this. I don't know where I'm going, what we're going to do, but we're going to do it. It's not, Doc says he's looking forward to a new format. Well, Doc, it isn't going to be really that much removed from my other format. It's just going to be longer. I don't know how like I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I may have like regular topics or something like that, or just go all over the place like we do here, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, I mean, with us, we are driven by our viewers. So if you are in the live stream, you drive this conversation.
You're in the driver's seat. Oh, by the way, RPG Overview says it's going to be a great year for TTRPGs. Far West is coming out this year.
Wah, wah, wah. So Far West, originally D20 system, but then it was like, oh no, we're going to go Open D6, and it's going to be ready by the end of the year. Never quite saying which year, this year, next year, last year, some random year. So I don't know. Do I still care? I guess I do. I mean, I paid $150 for it. I mean, I guess. Yeah. But at least at least my $150 that I spent back then is probably only worth like $100 now. So
hey, you got a picture out of it.
Do I need to put up those red hands?
Oh, by the way, Dave Thompson says hi. Hi, Dave. Me and him talk a lot when I'm on the Thursday Discord chat.
Oh, I believe it.
You know that. Yeah, he's a lot of fun to listen to. I like talking to him. He's a good guy. Real good guy. You guys out there should come on our Discord chat. It's really nice.
Thursday nights. Okay, so hold on a second, because I don't want our viewers feeling left out.
Well, Eric will probably send you an invite. You don't even need to give him a blowjob or anything.
Oh God, no!
Whoa!
So
it's Red Hands Tenkar.
This is what I spent the extra money. I like the fact that I just realized there's a noose there. So really, what I should probably be doing is taking care of myself, because I've been married now for 11 years. Far West is now 11 years late. So that just tells you the timing of this
I should.
wonderful, wonderful Kickstarter.
I really should take a shot of that. And like, if I had a picture of Gareth, I'd put him in the news.
Oh, well, you'd need a stronger rope. I'm just saying. I mean, that rope is 10 years old. Has nothing to do with Gareth the Hutt. I'm just saying. And listen, he's the man who said if he ever met me, he'd punch me in the throat. That was on a podcast. So, God.
What's it say? Have you seen the troll known as Loser today?
No, we have not seen the troll known as Loser today. But I'm sure if he gets off of his he drinks off his if he sleeps off his drink, maybe he'll show up. I don't know. He'd have to subscribe to the channel, so who the hell knows? It's my good friend Glenn, the one that's been nice enough to have legal interactions with me and the rest of my family.
Oh,
yeah, because
I saw a video. I didn't watch the video, but I saw a title of a video on YouTube. Ever notice how quiet Justin Lanasa is being over this whole OGL thing? And they said we haven't heard anything from him.
He may. I guess when you're involved in legal actions with a company the size of WotC/Hasbro, and you've already kicked the hornet's nest, maybe you don't go the extra step to put your pecker in it. I don't know.
But he seems like the kind of guy who would double down.
Assuredly. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know why. But
I'm glad you put that picture up there. I forgot what you look like without a beard.
Oh, I need to shave, man. I need to shave.
And about 11 years younger.
Yeah, a lot less gray apparently. Holy shit! Back when my hair was more brown than gray.
Oh, Doc, you're gonna just. I don't know if I can watch those. I'll just get homesick. I hope to get back to Dundrakon before I shuffle off my mortal coil. I'm 65 right now. I got a little time yet.
Shuffle off to Buffalo.
Kick the bucket, whatever you want to call it. So, I think the whole thing is starting to cool down anyway. The whole OGL thing.
I think so. I mean, I've got to make a decision this week as to whether I use the OGL for Continual Light, the digest size that Jeff Jones put together, or do I go Creative Commons 4.0? I got to figure.
What is Matt Finch doing? Is he going OGL or not?
I don't know. Initially, he was doing his own.
I was going to say you ought to talk to him. Maybe you can go his way or something.
I mean, I figure at work. Yeah, I know. I should have used a brush on my hairs as opposed to my hands. For some reason, this is supposed to, I don't know, be. I mean, look. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm wearing a gun. It might be just. No, it probably is.
Yeah.
Could be a knife.
You got a knife.
So now, look. This artwork was done back in 2015. So the artwork itself is over 7 years old.
Wow.
And that's when the initial artist, who, my understanding, and I can't say this as 100% for sure, but the initial artist that was commissioned to do all the work wasn't being compensated properly. That's what I understand.
Boy, I've heard of that before.
And so they left. So then it became Gareth and the Photoshop. And Thus, what you see.
Mr. Photoshop, yeah.
Mr. Photoshop, please come on down. You're a little bit better than the AI art I was going to use. I can only see now if AI art had been around at the beginning of Far West, all the art in Far West would have been AI art. It would have just been like random keywords. Let's see what it generates. So,
Justin Lanassa. Oh, wow, that looks horrible.
oh,
Yes, the usual two. Oh, cartoon race. All right. A little Mario Kart action there in tune.
Always fun. You gotta like it.
I wish I could get you out here from North Texas. You'd love the venue.
It's a very nice venue, and they're gonna have breakfast again this year. The breakfast buffet is back.
Yeah, I've been looking for that. They better give us a discount like they usually do.
Yeah, you get your discount coupons when you get your room.
Mm-hmm. I was completely derailed by Garrett's addiction to Twitter and politics. Okay, well,
yeah,
happens to the best. Happens to the best of us.
If he could have only written Far West in 240 characters at a time, it would have been done many a time over.
Many a moon ago.
But he wasn't able to compensate. And he's like, I gotta be tweeting because I'm a Twitterer, and everybody wants to hear my opinions about politics. And no, we don't. The fact that I think every pet in Gareth's family has died over the preceding years, and everybody got conquered, even those members of the family that didn't go to college.
I think he adopted some pets in order to get them to die.
Yeah, it's like, hey, is that roadkill? No, that's a new pet Stinky. No, it's a dead skunk. No, just shovel, put it in the back of the car. And then that buys me 6 months. What? Yeah, it buys me 6 months. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Stinky.
Should have looked left and should have looked right. Dead skunk in the middle
of the road. Stinky to the high
heaven. God bless him.
That song, and God knows how long.
That was one of my favorite Dr. Demento songs. I used to love that one.
Rob.
The Rob is here.
Mr. Robert Conley.
Oh, yes.
Really? 40 years
Please, Rob, please, rob one for me. I could use the money. I'm going broke buying Blu-rays. I stopped buying games. This is the first game I bought in, I think, a year because I just slowed down. Any Ken Whitman news? No, Mr. Pencil Dice? No, I haven't heard anything.
All right. Well, no, hold on a second. There might be some Ken Whitman news. I got to check I closed my Facebook feed. It was pinging in the background. Hold on. There was something that popped up in a group that often.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Let me just see. Oh, come on. Open up Facebook, you bet. Let me look. Let me see. Oh, there's a video of him. Hold on a second. Hold on. All right. This is going to be scary. Is there a volume control on this? I've got no volume on him, which might be good. Oh, here we go. All right. So here, I don't know. Can you hear? Will you hear the audio when I play it? Probably not. Tell me if you hear the audio.
I hear nothing.
All right. So my
barely hear it.
All right. So my speakers are too good. Let me see if I can. Original audio. Okay. Let's see if I can pop this into StreamYard.
Don't bust your cap over it.
I ain't gonna bust it. He's Little Monster Entertainment. former WWE entertainer, wrestler Al Snow will be teaching acting classes at the Old Western Retreat. So, all right. So, by the way, so just so you know, um, maybe I can't pull this up, but here's the Ken Whitman news as best I know it.
Okay.
End of last year, Ken was, believe it or not, popping into the live stream, commenting on Wednesday nights with Mike and I, and hinting that he wanted to come on the show and answer any questions that we might have for him. I was like, why not? Is Ken looking to get attention? Well, apparently, because Ken has at least two corporations or organizations. One's for profit, one's not profit, uh, and the not for profit and the for profit kind of overlap, which is a little strange. In
Not for him.
Yeah, I know. In getting uh, older teens involved in movie production, but using actors that are paying to be in his productions.
Oh.
Oh yeah, because you got to pay. Because
Ooh, I've been an actor long enough to know you do not pay for it,
well, because you're getting taught.
whether it's representation or buying into a film, unless it's that's what Kickstarters are for.
Right. No, you're being taught. This is your retreat. You get a room and bread and butter and some water from the well, and you can take your public showers. Nobody will watch you. Trust me. I not that I have cameras, but if I did, I wouldn't use them on you. And so that's what was going on the end of last year. And Al Snow has been involved with Ken as his I was going to say beard, but as his road to legitimacy. Look, I have Al Snow, former pro wrestler, entertainer. He'll teach you how to act. He knows how to take a chair over the head.
For a minute, I thought you were going to say Al Roker. It's like, that's no big deal.
Yeah, it's Al Roker. I'll give you the weather. But so that's, I could literally do a show on that. I'd have to get I'd actually have to get notes together for that one. And trust me, I don't know if I want to go that far, but because Mike and I discussed it, because I mean Ken went so far as to email me his cell phone number, kind of like,
Whoa,
hey kid, just call me, text me.
I wouldn't do it. My first ex sent me her phone number and email, and that was like 12 years ago. I've yet to call her. I don't think I will.
No.
So I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't talk to him.
I mean, honestly, I think Ken is a very charismatic individual one-on-one. I think that's why he gets away with all he gets away with. And I believe that's why certain people in our industry get reamed by him time and time again. Is because get his charisma.
His charisma, and he does on one-on-one, and to me, that's all a euphemism for a great line of BS.
Yes. No. Ken, listen, I know Ken likes to claim that he ran Gen Con back in the day, and I've spoken with people who were involved with TSR and have paperwork from back in the day, and he wasn't on the header for Gen Con, so maybe he managed the daily running of it, but he wasn't running the show.
He couldn't manage him. He probably managed himself. That's about it.
Let's see.
That's good, not booze.
Yeah, I'm drinking not booze too. I'm drinking Soda Stream seltzer with a little grape crush syrup.
Well, you're in New York City. You get all that cool, weird kind of drinks, which I envy.
Sometimes, sir. Sometimes. Devil ham.
I once had and egg cream. I loved it.
You know what? The friend of mine, the one that's in home hospice, Rachel and I were over there every day for like a week, and he was talking about an ice shop that's maybe about 2.5 miles, still being run like it was in the 50s. And I didn't know it was still open.
Wow.
So now I'm gonna have to track it down, get myself a malted or something like that, and sit up at the counter and dream I was of my parents' generation. Because
Oh, devil ham, you're absolutely right. I can see that happening.
and what they're talking about is taking all the art they own, which is of the coast, feeding it into AI, and then you'll have your original artwork for years to come.
Cutting out the
Before,
artist. Yeah.
yeah.
I have not figured out how to do that AI art stuff yet. I just wanted to put probably things I probably shouldn't put in an AI art algorithm.
Big boobs. Well, they just gave me big boobs. All right, let's try it again.
And your point?
I don't know, Glenn. I was just throwing it out there, you know.
I know. A crew, Glenn, so I might recruit what? Old man's teeth. It says old man's 11.
Not Ocean's 11.
I hope Grognard's 11. I hope he means out here and not in California, because I don't see myself coming out there for quite a while.
Ay, good. Is Whitman doing a joint Kickstarter with TSR? Well, you know what? Honestly, that's like oil and vinegar. They really don't mix very well, and when you do shake them up and mix them together, they will separate. So I think the survival instincts in those two, at least with Ken, I got to give Ken a certain amount of credit. He's been able to be in this industry and
survive.
Thank you, Glenn, for years, decades. That's a certain perseverance. He has to reinvent himself at times, but he's willing to do so. And although he may do stupid shit, like, I'm going to call the FBI on you and they're going to be waiting at your doorstep. I was like, all right, well, when the imaginary FBI arrives, I'll make sure I have imaginary tea and crumpets to greet them with, and I'll have a very fine old time with them. But he doesn't stay stuck to that. All right, he moves on from that to other. He's reinvented himself to the point where at one point, and I don't know if folks knew this, he was like the public relations director for a African American owned studio, film-ish studio in the Atlanta region. Only paleface in the whole organization. You can pull that off. I got to give you credit.
Great line of BS, as I said.
Yeah, no. I mean, and that's something that I think separates the individuals in question. Thankfully, you've kept the hate on it. These Kickstarter hucksters like Gareth and Ken. I mean,
he's retired. What else has he got to do?
Yeah, and let's be honest, okay? Gareth has issues, and hey, okay, let me see where my medication delivery. How close are they? Oh, they're actually pretty close. Rachie's. I would. There are close-ish. I don't. This is real life.
Do you really want them? They're all suppositories.
No. Actually, they are my. The biggest thing is my Freestyle Libre 2.
Oh God! I've got like 10 boxes of those.
Really?
I just I stockpiled them because I wasn't using them for a while, and it's like, okay, stop. I don't need any more. All right.
Don't need
Let me
any
use
more.
these up.
Yeah, it looks like she's just on the other side of the Long Island Expressway. I'll let you know when they get closer, Richie. Because obviously I'm not going to leave the live stream to go get my medications at the door. They're very nice. They deliver to your door. It's a good thing.
Hey, last minute before the show, Becky sent me to Walmart for dog food. So
hey, your dog got to eat, yo. You got to take care of the dog. Listen,
the puppy.
The puppy, you got to take care of the puppy. You got to make sure
we got a new puppy.
You got a new puppy. You got to make sure he's got two important things.
Let's see if this works.
She, wee pads, chew toys, and food.
Okay, let's see if this works. I'm going to put this up here on the camera. This is her. This is BB. Whoops. There we go. Try it again. There we go.
Oh. Well, when we had our little girl in a crate when she was a puppy, she couldn't handle it. She would whine.
Really? Well, this one barely handles it. She has a real issue about being left alone.
Yeah.
Becky will go in the kitchen for something. You'll hear her howling and barking. Tammy, hello, Tammy, my love. Anyway, no, I'm not going to creep on her.
You're a creep.
But yeah, she's a standard poodle. What they call a standard poodle.
Oh, so she'll be full size?
Yeah, everybody says that. It's like, don't scare me. I don't want a really big dog.
But she's
Jackson was a toy breed, about maybe that long.
She'll be
as an adult.
She'll be a bit longer.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yes, a Bucky's Cup, Flint. This is a tradition every year when I go to North Texas. Got to stop at Bucky's going in, stop at Bucky's coming out.
Stop at Bucky's going in, stop at Bucky's going out.
Gotta have those beaver nuggets, as I call them, beaver nuts. Appreciate your comment. Oh, thank you, RPG. In fact, that's one of the topics I have set up for my retooled show. Ooh. And how I could use the survival skills, work it into the game. That's kind of hard because I watch these bushcraft. Vegas, yeah, give me an excuse to go to Vegas. I'll need one. I don't know if I'd be at the table. Yeah, 9 more old dudes. What are we going to do? We're going to march on the casino or something?
Give me slot machines or give me death.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you're going to get me to the table if we go to Vegas because I'll probably be wanting to see all the shows. I'm weird. Becky wants to gamble. I want to see the shows. I said, okay, make enough money for me to go see the shows and we'll be all right.
But you have to make the money gambling. I don't know if that always works out the way it's supposed to.
No, it doesn't, unfortunately. But I got a better chance in Vegas than I do at these Indian casinos out here.
Let's see, David, I actually get my I get some of my my long-term expensive as shite meds through my my prescription plan directly, and that's how I get them discounted. But the generic ones generally I get delivered locally because it's cheaper.
I don't mean to take up showtime for this, but you know that Ozempic that you sent me, the card.
Yeah,
I printed the card out, and they still wanted $225 for a month's worth.
No,
he took the card, and he took the card, and he said, "Okay, here, zero cost."
So it worked. It worked.
Yeah, gold. Yes,
Glenn.
And so,
God bless you, man. God bless.
Thank you.
Awesome. Listen, because I'm on Mounjaro, and my Mounjaro costs me $25 a month, so long as my doctor remembers to label it for type 2 diabetes. Because if he doesn't, they want to charge me over $1,000. So it usually
I never heard of that one.
It's a new one.
Then again, I had to go to a pharmacy in Kansas City and order this $75 through my doctor for my daily Cialis.
Oh.
Half a tablet every day.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, I
Rich,
got to go. I got to go to a urologist last week. Oh boy, or 2 weeks ago. You know, to treat that, and I hadn't had my prostate checked in a long time. It's like finger up the wazoo, and he didn't even give me dinner.
give me dinner or give me death. Okay. Woohoo. See, folks, you know you're getting old when medication deliveries are what you like schedule shit around.
Yeah, I'm the one who usually has to go get them anyway.
Anyway,
And I got Walmart pharmacy. I hate them.
Walmart.
But my insurance, I used to go to Walgreens, but my insurance, Blue Cross won't do it anymore. So I ended up going there. Anyway, Tammy's getting restless. She said, "Where's Bad Mike?" I think we're veering off too much here.
Bad Mike said he might come on tonight because he wanted to talk movies with Glenn, but he hasn't. Hasn't.
Oh, Doc, 5 pound per. I just had a great Mexican lunch today with a friend of mine. We got a Mexican restaurant down here that to die for. Beautiful, wonderful food.
Oh.
Hey, there you go. Move down to the south, Eric.
I'd love to, but I don't know. All my family's up here.
I'm sorry, Dave. I hope you're feeling better. Oh, wait a minute. Liver is not giving. Okay.
Oh.
Well, that's a good thing. Yes.
We're sorry, Dave, that you're feeling better.
Yes. You should be feeling worse. We're old. We want you to feel worse too.
There's never too much. We can never give you TMI. You want to know what TMI was? You had TMI on the Wednesday night live stream when my cat puked on my desk from above. That was TMI.
TMI is kind of a trigger word for me because that's the easiest way to get my middle finger.
Your middle finger is TMI? See, I'm afraid to even ask on that one, Glenn. I'm not going to go too far.
Mommy's Humira pen. Okay. Whoa! 7,000 for one shot?
Wow.
How do we relate this to role playing?
We don't. This is just real life.
I know, but they're here for the role playing.
Oh, just fantasy. Easy come, easy go. Good night, Dave.
Good night, Dave. What a guy.
RPG, I know it's getting old. Actually, holy shit, you're right. When they leave that garbage behind, it is pissing me off. Pisses me off. They picked up everybody else's shit and they didn't grab all of mine.
Sorry, Eric, is the injection in there?
No.
No, okay, so it doesn't have to go in the fridge.
Yeah, no, the injection's not in there because that's probably not due for another 2 weeks anyway. So, thank you, hon. I've got a lovely wife. I'm very lucky. I don't think there are many like her, but this one is mine. So stay away. So.
No. Do you have love for Roger Corman like I do? I have a very decent love of Roger Corman. To me, I like trash as much as like the good stuff. I watched The Creature from the Haunted Sea, almost regretted it. But his Corman, like his Poe stuff is great, and there's a few others out there that are pretty good too. I mean, he's one of the guys I like. I'm a big Orson Welles fan. I know that. But Corman's cool. And he's still alive too.
Do you have it? Really? I remember him doing stuff when I was in college.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Shit.
He still does he still does cameos too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Too much itching. Yeah, you're right.
I'm not going to scratch it for you either. You got to take care of that itch yourself. So
right.
sorry.
I'm desperately trying to get this back to role playing.
I like that. Do you have insurance? You know what? I did play in a campaign in college where the DM had clerical insurance, so you could pay up front, and you got like a discounted rate, when necessary. Well, that raised dead would normally be, but since you have our platinum insurance, it'll only cost you,
That
So
would be a very good idea, especially for healing and healing
Yeah.
potions.
yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Do you have our Electrum insurance plan? It's the cheapest one we offer, just aside from copper. You don't want the copper, but the Electrum, it covers a lot. You can get your cure light wounds. That's included. If you come down with the disease, though, there is an out-of-pocket deductible of 200 gold pieces, just so you know. Oh my God, Glenn, there's a whole supplement involved in that. That's
There we go. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this episode is, I'm going to say it's brought to you by Jane Botanicals, organic skincare.
Ooh.
Jane Botanicals, organic skincare at its finest. JaneBotanicals.com, I believe.
See,
and that is my once a show plug for Becky's skincare line she sells online.
See,
so there.
Glenn, you should actually get a link. I could put a link as a rolling scroll one time for the next show we do.
Well, Papa was a rolling scroll wherever he laid his hat was his home. So.
There you go.
But yeah, I will talk to Becky and get that to you.
Okay, definitely. I listen, folks. By the way, I've heard people complain.
90s, wow.
People complain. It's like, I like the live streams, but there's too many ads. First off, for the last couple of weeks, we've been demonetized because Tenkar fucked up and demonetized at least for 4 weeks. So it wasn't my language. It was just me trying to behind the scenes trying to connect stuff, and it disconnected. So
you're lucky you can get monetized.
Look at me. Would you monetize me if you could? Probably not. But they had
that face.
This baby, unshaven baby face. I need to shave. It's got to get there. I actually had people comment the last time I really let my beard grow in that I like the show, man, but you really need to shave. I was like, man.
I have people saying I should keep it.
Clerical insurance, is that D&D or cyberpunk? That's dark. I don't know. So there is Cities Without Number from Kevin Crawford. You could D&D meets cyberpunk because it's basically the D&D system.
Is that what it is?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a city supplement for the game.
No, it's just cyberpunk. So, and then Courtney is coming out with Courtney Campbell. He is coming out with a Kickstarter next week that is going to be basically a clone of Shadowrun. So,
really?
Yes, but a clone of Shadowrun that's comprehensible and doesn't make you bring out your protractor to figure stuff out. Oh. HMOs for dungeon delvers. Yeah. If you don't need to go, no referral needed. Oh, you can have that too. It's like, oh well, you'll need a higher level clerk. Let me give you a referral for our
specialist. You need an exorcism. Let me send you the specialist.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. Please tell me the state of the body that's missing a head. All right, so we're gonna have to go beyond raised dead. That's gonna be a resurrection. We're gonna have to actually make sure you get pre-approved for that one.
We got to call him Miracle Max.
Oh my God, dude!
You don't rush me, you get bad miracles.
I could see this as a convention session somewhere. Is that there's a convention session for North Texas waiting to be done. Don't know why. RPG reviews be good.
Yeah, take care. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for coming by. Yeah. Hero maintenance. Love it. Love it.
That's the way to get the money out of your players' hands. Just the deductibles. Is it just me or does Glenn's shelf keep moving, or is it just a camera thing?
I think it's a camera thing. Yeah, it's a camera thing.
it's just
I've got a
focusing.
nice little extra camera up here. I use. I bought it separate. This thing, all cameras, any computer you buy, just seems the camera is crap.
Yep.
And you have to get a good one. And I got a good one.
Yeah, even my my desktop is a Mac. It's an iMac, and the camera there was okay, but
yeah,
no, I had it.
That's the one thing you scrimp on.
Yeah. So the only thing that the time I'll actually use the built-in camera is for my laptop, only because I don't like traveling. It's bad enough I travel with an external mic. Traveling with the camera, it all just adds up. So the camera is good enough.
I know.
If I'm at a convention,
that's why in North Texas I don't bring all that crap. I barely bring a laptop. It's a mimic trying to line up. Well, here's a funny story. Last night I was in my Thursday Castles and Crusades game with Matt, and we went into a dungeon. And he had like 2 or 3 chests in the room, and he says, "What do you do?" He says, "I walk in the room and sing." What did I sing? Oh yeah, and nothing but a heartache. Okay, nobody answered, so go ahead and open them.
So that was supposed to get the mimic to break out in the song.
Yeah. Because ain't nothing but a heartache. Supposed to, if it answers, tell me why, then you kill it.
Then you kill it, and if it doesn't, it's safe.
Yes.
Or not. Maybe the mimic is mute. There you go. The wise guy. Listen, when I was in college, I never played elves, but I always wanted to find secret doors. So I always use my bladder is full. Let me pee on the wall and see if any cracks appear. It's like it should and it's like I was like, what the hell you do? Capillary action. Learned it in science. If there's any imperfections here, capillary action should. It's like, oh Jesus. There you go.
Okay, yeah, you talked about Zweihander earlier this week.
Oh, dun 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 dun. Look who's here.
Robert.
Not Robert. Look who's here. Somebody who's in talks, most likely.
Do I get to guess?
You only get one guess, Glenn. And
Zach.
No, Glenn. It's somebody that we absolutely have no idea who it is, and who laughs at their own jokes. Because
you mean me?
No.
No, I don't know. I just chuckle a little. That's all.
Look, that's okay. I'm just putting all this stuff up on the screen so my lawyers get a look at it later. Once that's it's easy enough. Well, it's kind of like Candyman. You say the name 3 times in the mirror, and then all of a sudden, Candyman appears. But
I keep trying to say Beetlejuice 3 times, and he never shows up.
Well, he's the mayor of Chicago right now.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Just similar hairstyle made me think of that. So hold on. I need to catch up on the comments before we can move on here. There we go. All right. So sit back and relax. Let's go on
and float downstream.
Well, it's funny because I was talking about urine peeing, and that's when the appearance. So it's just it's a coinkydink. One thing I'm sure had nothing to do with the other, but kind of like I wouldn't piss on if they were on fire, but I guess to find secret doors I would. I don't know. So
True.
Glenn,
True.
now here's my true confession.
What's that?
I haven't played in a game session now in like since before Thanksgiving. So we're talking like well over.
Well, you got to get that. You got to get on that, man. You know?
I am going to TotalCon, and I gotta say,
Okay.
TotalCon, great bunch of folks there. I haven't been there since just prior to COVID, 2020, when I had the what was it, the upper respiratory infection led to pneumonia, led to sepsis, led to congestive heart failure. All the good fun stuff.
All the good fun stuff. All that hospital stuff. Oh, that's so fun.
The trifecta of hospitalizations, the hat trick. But gonna get, and now we're gonna be playing. Rich and I we're registered for. We're gonna get there on Thursday. We're gonna leave on Sunday, so it's not a long convention for us, because usually we come up on a Wednesday and leave on a Monday. But we can drive this one, so I figure I'll make it short. But we're gonna be in a Call of Cthulhu game on Friday. And we are going to be in, oh God, what is the Palladium Walking Dead type of game that they have?
Oh, Beyond the Supernatural?
No, it's not Beyond Supernatural. They got
another one with zombies?
Yeah. So I figure this should be fun. We should have a good time. And then I got to reserve our room for North Texas. Got my room for Game Hall. So
I'm all set for North Texas except for the spending money thing.
I
got the room, got the badges. Gage may or may not come. We shall see if he has to work. Well, you know.
All right, so you can.
Anyway, what was I going to say? I forgot. Anyway, yeah, we're all set for that.
Terry,
and I might.
Dead Rain is the game. Couldn't remember.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, by the way, I may be out of gaming for next couple of months.
What's happening?
I've got a couple of shows back to back. This one show coming up is just a staged reading.
Okay.
Of this new script of this guy's, and 2 performances, 5 rehearsals, 2 performances. And I'm out, and they're paying me for it for once. And it's called Chagall in School, and I said, sure, I'll do it. You flash money in front of me, yeah, I'll do it. And then I had a friend of mine, Holly, who's the Jewel Box. She said, I'm going to do my first directorial debut. Thank you. And she said, could you do a supporting part in Sense and Sensibility? I says, well, I've never thought of myself being in a Jane Austen show before, but what the hell? It's the Jewel Box. It's you. I get to see friends, sure.
Uh-huh.
Why not? She says, how's your British accent? I said, it's fine. I played Scrooge. So
nice.
So I don't even know when that one's going to be rehearsing or performing. She hasn't given me a schedule yet, but I said they already got my measurements for the costumes. So we'll see what happens. And so that might keep me away from the game table for a while.
Okay. Well, if you're going to
already told my groups. So, well, thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. I haven't been on stage in about 7 years.
7 years.
I think it was 7 years ago that I did my last show, or is it 5? Some great length of time. Let me put it that way. I just sort of got lazy. And also I lost 100 pounds. Now I need to take new headshots. I look nothing like what my headshots are.
Nice, Glenn. Now, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, nice. It's $150, but yeah, it's nice.
No, the 100 pound is fucking awesome. That's
No, thank you.
spot on.
Thank you. And folks, believe it or not, I started gaming to have something to do between shows. And now it's the reverse.
Now I'm doing shows between my gaming. Okay,
Yeah, something to do between game sessions.
hey, that works. And I mean, this is awesome, Glenn. I mean, I really spot on, good time, man. I'm glad for you
Yeah, I
because
have a lot of friends.
you are a talent that should not be wasted. And
Yeah, I want to start auditioning more. To me, I can do auditions. I have no problem doing auditions, whether I get something or not. It's gotten to the point where I don't care because I know these people, and it's like old home week when I go to auditions. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? You know, that kind of thing. Hello, Stuart.
they're letting anybody in now. Next thing you know, Doc will sneak back. Doc snuck back in. You see, look at this.
Any bigger, I'd have to unhinge my jaw to eat it. I love it. That's a big burrito.
That is a good burrito. Yeah.
I had a couple of crispy tacos today. That's about all I could handle. But that's not the kind of food you want to eat at the game table.
No.
But people do.
Well, I mean, it really is there an etiquette as to what you eat at the game table? I mean,
That's another topic I should put up on for Radio Grognard.
Yeah, you know
what do you eat? What do you eat at the game table?
And what don't you bring to the game table? Like, I mean, unless everybody's doing a Wendy's run, like me and my friends used to do a Wendy's run back in college, and everybody's eating Wendy's. That's fine. One person sitting down eating Wendy's as everybody else is noshing on chips is not fine. Donating a box of ring dings to the gaming group is fine. Remember when they were individually wrapped in tinfoil? Okay, taking a can of Cheese Whiz and filling 3 of them randomly with it was around April 1st.
Yeah, of course.
And one of my friends ate into one of the bad ones, and was like, oh my god, it was spoiled. I'm like, oh, dude, out of your mind. He goes, no, seriously. He gives me like the other half, and I had to eat it without making a face. I went, dude, this is awesome. He goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And every time it tastes like cheddar cheese from a squeeze can.
The last time, I mean, they all enjoy my snacks. I mean, after the convention, I brought beaver nuggets, and it's like, they were like, I could eat these all night. And the last time I gave them 4 bags of those Cheetos, it was a limited edition Mexican street corn flavored Cheetos. And they were just
really
that sounds
good.
what?
Sounds really good.
Yeah. I think they're not making them anymore. It was like a limited time thing, limited edition.
Dude,
keep an eye out of the stores. I stumbled upon them again, and so it's like, yeah, give me 4 bags. They're just the little bags like that.
No, but dude, that is like spot on. What I would break my watch the carbs diet for Mexican street corn flavored Doritos. I mean, I used to love the cool
Cheetos.
Cheetos, even better. I can get my fake Cheetos, my fake nachos, but there are certain things you just can't flavor. You just got to find them. When you find it, whatever.
I found out that flavor is safe for the game table because you really don't get any cheese dust or anything.
Oh, you don't no orange dust.
No orange dust, and I'm very careful when I eat Cheetos, especially at the game table. I will not take them. I will with the bag just straight to my mouth. I'm not even going to touch.
Don't get my books dirty with your disgusting fingers. Damn it, Glenn.
Yeah. And remember, well, you've got one eBooks doing that already. Remember page 75? You probably got a lot of Cheetos dust on that one. Excuse me.
Well, my Munster manual, when I was from a kid, what did that book always open up to? If you laid it out flat, and mine I had to throw out because it was in the basement and it got moldy. It was like
Ooh.
it was like green slime attacked it, but it always opened up to the succubus. Because when you were like 13, that was race the
Yeah.
arm. That was kind of cool. The DMG,
I
you
was a
laid
little
that out
pickier.
flat. It opened up to the combat tables because that's where you were at. Stuart, back in the 80s, one of my friends spilled beefaroni in another friend's book. We didn't
Oh,
for a long time.
I bought a 1E monster manual that I thought was, I didn't know until after I bought it, but it was like water damage or something. There was like, on the pages, there was either spilled Coke on it or what, but it was all, had spots and all that other stuff. I ended up getting rid of it and getting another copy, but yeah, I remember that. I didn't do it. I bought it that way.
Right.
That's what happens when you buy used.
My prior kitty, she used to love for the longest time drinking her water out of a 32-ounce glass beer stein, and that's how she wanted to drink her water on my desk. She didn't want it from a water bowl. She wanted to be like. So one time I let it get down too far, so she had to stick her head in there and put her paws in it, and she knocked this 1/3 filled beer stein off the desk. And what was right next to my desk? Tome of Horrors Complete for Swords and Wizardry. The pages are warped. The contents is still readable, but yeah, it was.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, I got rid of that set. It was an orange spine set, and I decided, well, okay, I want the original covers just because. I mean, I don't think they're all that great, but it's first edition. So one North Texas, David Donahoe, made me a really nice deal, like $40 for all 3 books. I said, sure. That's a good deal.
Don, if my brother-in-law took a highlighter to my player's handbook, I would have made my sister divorce him, or however I was related, or my wife to disown him.
That would bother me, but if I buy like used modules and stuff like off eBay or on a con, that if they got, if they're underlining or highlighting something, then that's what you do with the module, those kind of module. I'd be beyond pissed.
I would be beyond pissed too. It'd then be fighting words or actions or some such knuckleheadedness. Not good is how I would put it. So yes.
That is right, sir. You are correct, sir.
You are correct, sir.
So we're using Castles and Crusades in the Thursday game because Matt got PO'd at Wizards. And it's running rather well. We've got like 4 different printings of it at the table because I have old printings and Matt just bought the new ones, and but they all work the same.
Yeah, I think what did they add, like the Barbarian class or something like that? One of the later printings that was. I think that was like the I found out typos is what they did. I mean,
I had the flip book, which is 6 printing, and I didn't know the current printing. They upped the levels. It's like 20. It was originally like level 12, and now it's up to 24.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. No biggie. I can still use these. Hello, Mr. Gunn.
Needs to put down the gun, Mr. Gunn. We'll have none of that in here.
True.
Or we'll have a lot of that in here, but depending on how you look at it. By the way, it looks like our troll got, I don't know, silenced. I'm very surprised that somebody who requires so much attention mentioning the fact that I'm taking screenshots from my attorneys would
well, I never could deal with hecklers anyway.
Oh, dude, 20 years as a cop, you learn how to deal with hecklers. Okay, I did a detail as a sergeant shortly before I retired, and it was a lot of protests going on. And as we're getting sorted out and we're marching to the place, I got my detectives with me. We're all in uniform. This little old lady, she's got to be in her 80s, comes up to me with that hot old, I'm sorry if you're an old woman, but that hot old person breath. and in my face,
Yes.
and she goes to me, "You fucking piece of shit." I was like, "Wow." And I was like, well, thank you very much.
Well, it's so funny you said fucking piece of shit and Bad Mike should have.
There you go. Look at that. Wow. There you go.
Get the man on here. I know
Yeah.
he wants to be on here.
So literally 30 seconds later, another old lady comes like directly at me, and my detectives knows it too. Like, Sarge, she's coming right for you. I'm like, ready for it, and she's like, "You fucking piece of shit." So it was all planned. It was part of the protest, and I was like, "Well, thank you very much." And then I turned to my detectives. I said, "Listen, you do know that for the rest of the tour, my name is now you fucking piece of shit." And she walked away like very confused because she didn't get the reaction that she wanted. I'm instead like embracing it, and we had a good chuckle out of it. And and that was it. No other old ladies came.
Bad Mike. Come.
Well, Mike can't come
Bad
up.
Mike.
He just woke up. He's got like that nap hair going. You know, he's probably
Why
got.
he care? Do what I do. Put a hat on.
He probably didn't even charge up.
Why do you think I wore this in my other hat all the time? I don't want to comb my hair.
He didn't even put on a head. His headset's not charged. Mike is barely prepared when we do our show on Wednesday.
What is a fair price to pay for a set of Oney in good condition? That's a good question. It's been a long time. I would recommend go over to drive-thru and get the PODs. They're really nice.
Or you can find the original reprints with the gold edging on the pages. I used to have two sets. I gave away one to the group I used to play with at Long Island, to one of the younger players in our AD&D group who didn't have the books. Oh God, I'm gonna have to catch up to Mike's comment here. So give me a second, folks.
Bring him on. I want to see his bed face, his bed hair.
Glenn actually wants me on. We can talk Randolph Scott.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Coax me. Make it worth my while.
Tickle me Elmo. Tickle me Michael. No.
Ooh. Tickle me Bad Mike. Ow. Ooh. That's an image I don't want.
Show me on the bed, Mike, where you got touched.
So I've been reconsidering Dungeon Crawl Classics. My opinion on it. I'm not saying I'm going to go out and. I mean, I'm thinking of getting another core book. I'll probably wait till the con to get it, but somebody hit a trigger word for me.
Uh-oh. And what?
Because I always had a problem with the book, but somebody said gonzo to me, and it's like, yeah, I could just use the charts and stuff out of it. Yeah. What bed hair? Mike don't have no bed hair.
Hey, see, and Mike, you can add yourself a little title for yourself.
Ooh. Wow. Thank you, Glenn, for stroking my ego so much. He just had to have me on. I've rarely had my ego stroked as well as it was.
Well, someday I figure you'll return the favor on a Wednesday. So
I always would. Am I always asking for Glenn to come on? I am. Eric can tell you this. I'm always, because I know it's going to devolve into movie talk, and Eric to get really frustrated, and our viewings will go down to like nobody. Like nobody. All of a sudden,
like it's going to happen now. Yeah.
Everybody starts dropping down.
All right, guys, I'm going to turn my camera off and go into the kitchen and make some snacks with myself.
Well, it's better than when David and I talked about child molesters.
Yes.
That wasn't on a live stream, though, right? That wasn't on a live stream.
That wasn't. No, that was the Discord chat. But we lost like half our people because we kept talking. I thought
Can we find another topic that isn't as pertinent to real life?
I have a good molester story. Is the apartment the hotel in our city so every city has this one hotel, and Eric probably tell you this as a cop, although he was in New York, that all the molesters have to go to because it's far enough away from a church and a school.
Yeah.
So you pull up the local pervert thing, because you can pull this up online to see where everybody's registered.
Yeah, I've seen those.
And like there'll be one hotel there's like 25 dots at. You're like, what is going on there? Is there a sicko convention? No, it's because that's where they go. Well, our local one got bought by the city and torn down. It's going to be torn down. So they're all gone out of our city now. It's like, oh, that's awesome. So that was a good story. I drove by yesterday. It was condemned. There was a sign out front.
They won't be gone. They won't be gone.
They'll be homeless now.
Well, they go to another city and do their pervertedness. So that's my good story with that. But no, so Glenn was very nice around Christmas. Was it Christmas? He bought me a 2-volume Randolph Scott.
No, I gave it to you last con.
Last con DVD set, because we're both movie buffs, and
because I got the Blu-rays for it,
and we love genres, and so it was Randolph Scott stuff. And I had only seen the only movie I'd seen on the 2 set was The Tall T, which is a great movie, by the way.
I love that movie.
So I finally got my Xbox working enough to show movies, and I watched Desperados the other day, Glenn, which was really good. It was Glenn Ford, Randolph Scott. I can't remember the female star, but she was a gorgeous actress in the 40s. And I looked up her history. She's married, of course, like 5 times, much like starlets are back in the 40s and 50s. She was married 5 times, and she was married to some famous people too. But no, it was really good. It was in Technicolor, which I'd forgotten all about how amazing Technicolor was back for movies in the 60s, 50s, and 60s.
Try. My favorite is Ride Lonesome in the set, but there's a few other good ones.
I've been meaning to watch that one, but so Randolph Scott,
because that's like
he's this big, good-looking dude. He looks almost kind of dopey in some ways. He's this big
dopey.
Well, I think he does sometimes. He can look kind of dopey, but Randolph Scott was not a great actor. I'll say that, because he's not a great actor, but he presented this presence of just like he's the good guy.
He had a
no matter
good
what movie
persona.
he is the good guy, and so
that
was his niche.
What
that was his niche in Hollywood. He was his niche in Hollywood. He would be in all these westerns, and he's always the good guy.
He's like Lon Chaney Jr. He has a limited range, but what he does, he's really good.
That's exactly right. So I had fun with that the other night.
Yeah, you're gonna love Ride Lonesome, because there's him, Pernell Roberts, who's that guy?
Well, this movie, so Desperados.
Lee Van Cleef is in it as the main bad guy.
Always the bad guy, right? He's got to be a bad guy.
Who is Pete Best? Sheriff Coltrane from.
Not the Pete Best. It was the Beatles.
It's the other James Best. I think it's James Best. Yeah, he's in that. I mean, it's just loaded.
But no, Desperados was good because it had a really good plot. Because sometimes you forget these plot writers. I mean, okay, when you have to do a Western, at a certain point, there's only so many variations you can come up with the plot. This one had a really good plot where these guys in the town were basically they staged a bank robbery so they could steal all the money in the bank. It was the bank owner. He staged it.
Wow.
And Glenn Ford is supposed to be a robber that helped him rob the bank. Well, Glenn Ford arrives at the town late because the train, something happened to the train, so he gets there late. And he's like, "Oh, well, I was supposed to rob the bank. I didn't rob the bank." They said, "Well, we already robbed it. So you go, you leave." He's like, so he meets the hot chick who's, I'm going to stay. She's really hot. And let me tell you something. Glenn Ford, he was a good looking dude when he was younger. I don't think I've ever seen very many Glenn Ford movies. I've only seen him when he was the tough, stoic cop or military guy in the 60s and 70s and stuff. I don't think I've ever seen him back when he was younger, but he was a good looking dude, man. I was getting a little jazzed looking at him. I mean, I don't even roll that way, and I was like, "Wow, he is good looking." No wonder he was
one of those movies. I can't remember the name of it. One of the guys who was like he worked for the bad guy. He was like his dragon. Was Craig Stevens. It's like, what's Peter Gunn doing in a Western?
So it was fun. So I appreciate that. That was a wonderful
Hey,
gift,
no
Glenn,
problem.
because
You're gonna enjoy all of them.
yeah, and so every once in a while I'm going to work in a western because I used to like westerns a lot, but it's a lost genre, man. They just don't make very many good westerns anymore. And the ones they make are real quirky. Like they had a western a couple years ago called Bone Tomahawk. I don't know if you ever saw that. It was
remember
it was a
that.
horror.
I
It was a
remember.
horror. It's a horror western. It's really horrific too, but it's pretty
Yeah.
good. It has Kurt Russell in it, a couple other stars you probably heard of, but it was really good. But they just don't make any good westerns anymore. It's just that genre is one of those genres that they worked at. They just
You're
worked
right.
it to the bone back in the 40s and 50s and 60s. I mean, all the TV shows that were on. God, there were so many TV shows, Western TV shows. You could watch them
Obsidian.
back to back.
Obsidian, Ventures of Robin Hood. My oldest grandson, Gage, when he was growing up, that was one of his favorite movies. I showed it to him. He loved it. With
So
Errol
Glenn says
Flynn and
Randall
all
Scott
that.
did only westerns. That makes sense. That because that was his genre.
He
right?
didn't
That's
do
just what
20. He didn't do 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Did he do?
That was Kirk
yeah.
Douglas. That was Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas. Yeah, you think of
James
Kirk Douglas.
Mason, Kirk Douglas. Well, he did some. Earlier. He did some modern stuff. Even John Wayne did. In fact, I think he was the bad guy. Randall Scott was the bad guy in The Spoilers with John Wayne.
I don't even remember that. That would have been that would have been good.
Yeah, but he did a few modern things too. But yeah, it's
Ride the High Country is a really good one he did too. I just remember, but I don't think
Yes.
it's on the set you gave me. But Ride the High
No.
Country is really good.
No.
Tall T's good. I'd seen a few. Wow, I didn't know that Ride the High Country was his last western. I'm just looking at his little.
Yeah, well, him and Joel McRae.
Yeah.
It was both their best.
Yes,
They
it was
didn't
really
need-
and it was really good. It was a very good kind of
They
ode
didn't.
to.
They didn't need to
ODM.
do it either because they were millionaires. They didn't need the work.
It's a Ride the High Country is a really good movie. It's
is.
like
I
an
have it
ode
up
to
there.
it's like an ode to the western that was going away at the time. Mariette Hart was in that one too. That's actually very good. Ride the High
And
Country.
Warren Oates.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was Peckinpah.
Yes, that was Peckinpah. That was a very early. Yes, he was one of the writers, director. Yes, I'd forgotten
Yes.
that. Wow. See, Glenn is sharp as a tack when it comes to old movies.
Before
So
you
that's
got
why I love talking to him about that.
I was just watching them the other day. By the way, that 4K TV set and Blu-ray player I have,
Mhm.
I got some 4Ks now.
Nice.
I bought the 4K version of Casablanca and Singing in the Rain, and they were both breathtaking.
Two of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, those are great.
Anyway,
I love the I love the
see, this is
remixes.
where I get my role-playing ideas, guys. So be appreciative.
I'll tell you what. So bring it to gaming. Westerns are a very good source for gaming ideas because I know the genres aren't exactly the same, but you are in the wilderness. You have this town in the middle of nowhere, and you got. I mean, it's very. I've used a lot of Western plots in my.
I took a
in my
spaghetti
games.
about a year or two ago. I took a spaghetti Western and used it in a plot for Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerers of Hyperborea, and it worked great. It was wonderful.
There's some good, if you could take and substitute the Native Americans for the orcs, substitute them out there, and the plot lines work pretty good. The stagecoach is the caravan instead of the stagecoach.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I've used Rio Bravo more than once in a fantasy setting. Now, Tammy was mentioning the new Indiana Jones film.
Oh dear.
He's 80. I don't know if I'm going to see that or not. The only reason is I hear it's not being directed by Steven Spielberg, who directed all the other ones. But,
I feel sorry for that old guy, man. He's been through so much the last few years, and he's got every bone in his body broken, perhaps.
Yeah, but he
got
said
a plane
he
wreck. He just got in a plane wreck not long ago.
After he did Crystal Skull, he says, I want to do 10 more. It's like, what are you, crazy?
He's in that movie. He's in the TV show 1923. The
prequel
to Yellowstone. And he looks. I've seen the trailers. He looks creaky, man. He's just kind of barely moving along there. So
I know.
I don't know he's doing Indiana Jones.
Becky kind of watches Yellowstone, and she also watched the other prequel with what's his name in it? 1893, whatever it was. Yeah, and she says, I can't watch 1920. Says, why? She says, I don't want to see Harrison Ford old.
He looks really old too. He and Helen Mirren look like they're pretty old. So that's I don't know. I don't know why they didn't find, they could find another Indiana Jones, a nice young dude, and he carries on the tradition. I think that would have been a great.
Frankly, I think they should just stop the series.
Probably should.
It's play. We've got these great films,
but maybe it's like James Bond.
Sam Elliott. Thank you.
Every generation you have a new one, though.
Sam Elliott. I used
Indiana
to.
Jones.
I
thought the kid that did, or the guy that did Solo in the Han Solo movie, Solo did a really good job. I mean, that movie just got beaten down because everybody was so mad at part 2 of the trilogy, and they took it out on Solo. But Solo was a really good movie. If you haven't seen Solo, it is a very good movie. It is a popcorn, have the kids around, great type movie. I thought everybody did a good job in Solo, and the guy who played Solo was great. They could have made a whole series of Han Solo movies with him, but unfortunately, that was the only Star Wars movie that flopped. It flopped because people were so mad at how terrible the second movie of the new trilogy was that they just didn't do that. They took it out on Solo. But find some new stars for these movies, some new genre guys that pop in there. And I was going to say, Glenn, speaking of movies, everybody's seen the new trailer for D&D. What are our thoughts, Eric?
I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't know there was a new one out. I seen the original one. I didn't know there was
new as of like about a week ago. Yeah. You guys, that's your homework assignment. Then you need to go watch the new D&D. Trailer.
I'll probably watch it pretty soon. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've come on record saying I'm going to go see it.
Well, now that they have,
and we're going to go see it.
Now that Watsy's made nice, Glenn, I will allow you to see it night 1, because remember before I didn't want you to see it the first night.
Well, you know what? Hey, you know what Matt Evans said? He says, "Screw it, I'm going to go pirate it, and we're all going to sit around and watch it." He said, to hell with Watsy. It's like, no, I'm going to sit in a comfortable theater and watch it.
They've made nice now, so now I'm going to reward them by going and seeing their movie. Although my wife has already told me that she's thumbs down. She doesn't want to see it. So I'll probably go see it with my buddies, I guess. Instead of she's like, I'm not interested in seeing a movie about Dungeons and Dragons. I said, well, look, it's a fantasy movie. It's just a fantasy thing.
Oh,
she's like, no.
Yeah. Pretend you're watching Hawk the Slayer.
My wife.
Yeah, my wife would not be into Hawk the Slayer. That's an acquired taste. Unless you're a Jack Palance fan, particularly, in which case you're like,
which I am.
He's eating up the scenery and everybody else.
I love the way he eats up the scenery.
No, it was great. It made the movie, which was barely palatable, and it was incoherent at best. But Jack Palance. So you're like,
But everybody raves about it. I have yet to see it. Everybody raves about it.
You haven't Walk the Slayer?
Oh, here we go. No, I haven't.
Michael, do you hear this?
3 or 4 years ago, I hadn't seen Krull, and I watched it. I watched the Riff Tracks version, but I still watched it.
Yes, we do need another Doc Savage movie. The last one was in 1975, and I put on there the pulps are very underrated area that we don't have movies about. We had a Shadow movie about 30 years ago. We had a Doc Savage movie almost 50 years ago. And we should delve more into the
one that I'm excited about seeing is who's the guy who was in Taken?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson playing Philip Marlowe.
Yes, okay, I am too, because you and I, once again, Glenn and I are huge film noir fans, detective stuff.
I want to see how he does it.
I'm very interested.
I'm gonna put him up against my favorite Marlowe, which is Robert Mitchum, and see what it looks like.
So, did you ever see the ones in the 70s with Paul Newman?
I didn't see.
He did 2.
Paul Newman. Well,
no, I'm sorry. He did. He did the other guy.
Robert. I I saw the Robert Mitchum. I saw Farewell, My Lovely with Robert
Uh-huh.
Mitchum. I loved it. And then I saw The Big Sleep, and I didn't like it. His remake was a modern remake and put it in London for some reason. And
Yes. No, I was thinking Paul Newman did Lou Archer, but they called him Lou Harper for some weird reason, and those were really good. Those are based on the Ross McDonald Lou Archer movies. He did at least two. They were very good. They were in the 70s. Like, they're just really good. If you get a chance, one I think just called Harper, and the other one's called The Drowning Pool, and they're based on two of the best Ross McDonald detective books.
By the way,
boy, Newman did a great job. He played a great part.
By the way, veering into westerns for a minute, I've said, I don't know if I said this on the phone, but if you can find a spaghetti western that is called Between God, the Devil, and a Winchester, watch it. It's Treasure Island out west.
Okay, I'm interested. This is a western?
It's a spaghetti western.
Okay.
Between God, the Devil, and a Winchester. And
okay, interesting.
It's like, I started watching it. It was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes into it. It says, this is Treasure Island. There's the kid. They're going after Confederate gold. And there's one place.
I told you
there's a Long John Silver equivalent. In fact, the Long John Silver didn't have a bad leg. He had a bad hand. It was covered in metal.
It just shows you that all that Hollywood does, they keep going back to the classics for ideas. They don't have any ideas. Let's just go back. Hey, let's do Treasure Island. I'm going to disguise it up a little bit, but it's going to be a western here. It's going to work.
Yeah. Hey, in space, it worked great. That's my Spelljammer movie. Treasure Planet is my Spelljammer movie.
Nice.
Yeah,
whatever. Treasure Planet was the big failure from Disney. Why'd that fail so bad?
But there are a lot. It's a big cult following now. They said,
really?
But why did it fail? I don't even know why. It looked like it was a pretty cool movie when it came out. I've never seen it, but it just flopped.
Mr. Gunn says, which Cape Fear do you prefer? I would like to tell you, but I've never seen it.
Okay.
Either one.
What? Well, number 2 is ridiculous. I'll tell you that. The number 1 is actually pretty good. Number 2 is insane.
But if I like Mitchum as a bad guy, I'll watch Night of the Hunter,
which is one of the 10 best.
That's the one.
Yeah, one of the 10 best movies ever made. It was
he's the evil preacher.
So many bullet points for that. That was the only movie that
Charles Lawton made.
Charles Lawton never directed. He did a superb job, and it's a crime he never directed more movies. It's absolutely superbly directed. And it's a great. If you've never seen Night of the Hunter, go. You've hurt yourself. You need to go out and get that and rent that immediately and watch it. Night of the Hunter is an incredible movie. You will not believe Lawton was a first-time director. It's directed there's so many iconic scenes in there.
You are right in that respect.
There's a scene. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Night of the Hunter.
There's a great scene. I mean, I can't even do it justice. There's so many good scenes in that just like blows you away. That's one of the movies they teach that in film school. They say, here, this is what you need to do, and they will throw that movie on and just point out scenes. Look at that scene. Look at that scene, how it's filmed. I mean, I've seen them in my head. I can see the scenes in my head as they're filmed. Like, there's the one scene where the woman he marries and he kills and ties to the car, and the whole scene of her below the water. That is great. And then there's
shiver down my spine when I saw.
And there's a scene because it's really kind of a horror. It's a horror / thriller. There's one scene where the family's going down the river, and the moon lights up there, and he's riding his horse alongside the river, and he's basically a serial killer stalking these kids, and it's just
he's an evil preacher.
Yeah, he's evil preacher. He marries people. He has love and hate tattooed on his his knuckles. And he ends up killing these women, and then these 2 kids whose mother gets killed by him manage to escape, get away from him, and he chases them, and they meet up with this old lady, and she's the match of Robert Mitchum, man. She's his match. And so
that's Lillian Gish. I saw her in that movie.
Lillian
I'm going,
Gish.
why didn't she do more sound films? She's great as a character
Yeah, she does.
actor.
It's just that, like I said, if you haven't seen the movie, it's probably one of the 10 best movies ever made. I mean, I just throw that on there right there, and it's just a really great movie. And so,
okay.
Well, Once Upon a Time in the West is that's my favorite Western of all time. My favorite Western of all time. And Glenn and I, we need to do our show. We do top 10s, and we need to do top 10 Westerns. That's in my top 10.
I will come on your Wednesday show. We'll do that.
Okay. There you go, Glenn. There you go, Eric.
My hands are
our ratings go in the toilet. But no, go Once Upon a Time in the West.
Oh, did you have something to say, Eric?
Not at all, man. I'm just saying.
Once Upon a Time in the West has the longest opening sequence in movie history. It's 18 minutes long. For those who've never seen it, and it's one of the most awesome scenes of all time.
Decades ago, when I was living in San Jose with a roommate, I used to educate him on film. And two things I remember. One, he said he could never watch Once Upon a Time in the West because he couldn't get past the opening. Because he was one of those guys that do something. And I said, I've got the DVD. We'll just skip past it. And then he watched it. He loved it. The other thing was I put on Sunset Boulevard for him to watch this. You got to watch this. It's a great film. Yeah. 3/4 of the way in the film, he stands up and goes, "Where is this going? What is happening?" I said,
"It's a character
just
study.
Let it play out. Let it play out." And at the end, he loved it. It's just he's one of those people. It's got to make sense. While he's watching it.
So we'll go to Time of the West. Charles Bronson's a good guy. And Henry Fonda's the bad guy. Does he play a bad guy? He should have done more bad guys. He's the evilest of all evil bad guys you can ever imagine. Claudia Cardinal is the hottest
beautiful
Western chick of all time. Who's
Jason
Robards plays a great part. He's the guy in the middle. It's very I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's very there's good, bad, the middle, kind of like Good, Bad, the Ugly. It's a lot of all these themes. It's a Western on the surface, but below it, it's the themes of the exploitation of the West, about how it was pure and pristine, and all these things came.
And how the trains started.
Trains were bad. Yeah, the trains came through and basically ruined everything because they had to build these cities to trains. And of course, everything was corrupt, and it's amazing.
Before I forget. The movie Decision at Sundown on your Randolph Scott set.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I call that Randolph. I know. I call that Randolph Scott's The Searchers.
Oh,
he doesn't play a very nice guy. In fact, the whole movie subverts expectations. You think it's a by the numbers Western with the bad guy and everything. You won't believe how it ends up. You really won't.
Well, apparently, Gunn is a fan of Once Upon a Time in the West too, because he's quoting all the best lines of the movie, and there are a lot of great lines in that movie too. It's an amazing movie. It's once again probably one of my 10 favorite movies of all. It's definitely one of my 10 favorite movies of all time. Once Upon a Time in the West. It's long. I will let you know what you're getting into. It's about 3 hours long, but it is
a bad guy gets shot with a gun inside a boot.
That's great too. Yes.
Remember that?
Yes. There's a bunch of iconic scenes.
Oh my God.
When you hear that noise, I want you to get down. What noise?
That
noise.
This
noise.
I've never seen Arsenic and Old Lace, but I've done the show 4 times. So
yes, Glenn is an expert on that. He is the movie's great.
I played Jonathan Brewster more times than I've had.
I'd love to see Glenn. I want to see Glenn.
But I'd do it again.
I want to see Glenn on the stage, Eric. I'd love to see Glenn on the stage.
I would too.
We need to see Glenn on this. We need to see Glenn on the
stage. I mean, I love Cary Grant and stuff, but I never got around to watching it. I just did it on stage. I've got His Girl Friday up there. And I love it. Yeah, the front page is one of my bucket list shows. I want to do it someday.
The front page. Who would you now? You're aging, Glenn. Who are you going to play in the front page?
I want to play the Cary. I want to play Walter Burns, the son of a bitch.
Okay.
because I've also got the Lemon Mathau version that Billy Wilder made, and it was almost like that was made for them.
Yeah, I
but
saw.
anyway,
So Glenn talks about Hateful Eight. I saw Hateful Eight at the theater because I was all excited about it being in Technicolor because movies aren't made in Technicolor. But it was the problem with Hateful Eight. It's like a lot of Tarantino movies. It's all this build up for not really disappointment, but it starts out great and it's got this beautiful vistas of the West and wilderness, and the whole movie ends up inside one building. The whole second half of the movie is a play. It just takes place in this one building and it doesn't go anywhere. And that kind of bummed me out. I thought it was going to be a really kick-ass Western all across the West. And it's not. You stuck all these characters, stick them in one room, and they all end up killing each other. So that's basically what the
it's
movie's about.
it's sort of Reservoir Dogs out west.
Yeah. But I thought it was going to be more of a like outdoor, because the outdoor scenes at the beginning are incredible. They're beautiful. They're filmed in whatever widescreen Technicolor or something or another. I can't remember, but it's just a beautiful movie. And then, okay, let's just stick everybody in this general store, and then from then on they'll just
It's almost like a bottle episode for a TV show.
It's very
okay. Let's talk a little role playing business here. How's North Texas going?
It's going great. Thank you, Glenn, for throwing. I didn't even throw him that, and he caught it anyway. But no,
it's my con.
Texas is doing great. We have our games listed. Gary's listing them as quickly as he can. People don't understand when the games are listed, you don't immediately get them listed. Gary has to go through them all and put them on there. So we got a backlog right now. So Gary, as fast as he can, is listing them and putting them up. Because I know Greg Gillespie complained the other day his games weren't up yet, but Gary's going as fast as he can. But no, it's doing great. I think we're going to hit 500 here pretty quick. I really do. If you think you're going to go and you're really interested in going, you need to register, because we're going to be pretty serious about. I mean, we have to be serious about cutting it off at some point, because we're at 500. We may. I don't know, it may take a few more than that, but other than that, it's gonna shut off, because we want everybody to have a good time. We want everybody to have games. The worst thing you can have is a convention and have somebody show up and go, "Yeah, I just showed up. Can I play?" There's no games, and which we have actually had happen before. We've had that happen before, where all the games are full, and so
Mr. Gunn, 500 attendees,
500 attendees,
500 badges,
not special guests. There's dozens of those, but.
But it's going really good. We had some really amazing. Victor Raymond was entered some Classic Traveler games the other day, and Classic Traveler is the number one game we get asked for that nobody runs, because everyone wants to do Traveler. Nobody wants to run Traveler. But I have so many people that say they want to play Traveler. And how many conventions do you go to offer Classic Traveler? Like zero. Nobody does that.
You're right.
And so it's really amazing. If you go to the North Texas RPG Con website on Facebook, that people talk about the games they're listing.
Yeah. Merle Rasmussen runs Top Secret every year.
What's the new Top Secret?
New Top Secret. They've got
Top Secret.
I want to call him Bunny Burrows. Dr.
Sester
runs Bunnies and Burrows,
and he'll be there for the first time in 5 years. Now he's not going to. I don't think he's. No, he may be running games. I'm not sure, but. Yes, Dr. Sester has been there for 5 years, so I'm excited.
Yeah, he wasn't. Well, the COVID thing, he's basically,
Yeah,
the whole Austin group didn't go last year. I mean, I missed everybody.
Oh, yeah, and then actually, they didn't go for the last 3 years. The Austin people.
Oh, and I gamed with Matt Evans last night, and he's got his last. Module supplement, whatever, done. He's trying to get product printed out so he can sell it at the con. Maybe your booth. Cool. Who knows? Well, he's really looking forward. He said, "James Raggy's coming. I gotta go."
Yeah, so far Raggy's Eric Raggy is with the program. Every time we talk to him, he's thumbs up and he go. Although I think the last time Gary talked to him, he said, because Gary was going to get him a ticket and everything, he said to hold up for a week or two because he wants to check some things around that date. But he is, it's going to be interesting to see that guy in the flesh. He's never done a North Texas convention. I'm sorry, a North America convention, except for Gen Con. He does Gen Con pretty much every year, but they don't treat him right at Gen Con. Gen Con, they just throw him into. They don't treat him right. We're going to treat him right. He's going to hang out with everybody, so it's going to be fun.
Good.
We have seen his flesh.
Have we not? Have we? We've seen too much of James.
Yeah.
Your story about watching the video the other day was great, Eric. By the way, that was hilarious. So look up and see him running away naked.
I'm still trying to get Mark Hunt to commit.
We need
because
Mark
he's going to have stuff.
We need Mark.
Somebody
is there running gangbusters, Glenn. I don't know who. Somebody has.
That'd be me.
No, somebody else besides you has decided to run.
Good. Maybe I can play this year. I haven't come up with anything yet. I've got nothing right now. But I'll play their game, sure.
So, Gun, the solution to that is you have pre-gens for Traveler. You want people to spend 20 minutes to roll up your character. He died.
Which we like, but we can do it in 10 minutes with the whole group.
You have pre-gens for Traveler, and it's actually in some ways it's a very elegant role-playing game. It really is. It's really simple and it's core. Traveler is one of those games that depends a lot on the game master. It really does. If you have a good game master, you go anywhere. If you have a bad game master, it's going to be really bad.
Oh, I've had some really bad ones.
For Traveler.
Some dull ones. You can't be dull in Traveler, really.
No.
I mean, I think that the Star Wars role-playing game, I think that's the best thing that happened. It kind of lightened up Traveler.
Yeah, the original StarArs role-playing game, that was fun. That was very fun, too.
Oh, I love that game.
Because you don't have to be Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Princess Leia.
Now they have an expanded universe. You can play whoever you want.
It can be all kinds of stuff.
I wonder if I should bring Marvel Face Rip this year.
So I don't know if I told you, Glenn, or not, but I finally talked to Jeff Grubb, and he can't make it again this year, which sucks. We'd love to have him back. He has not been back. It's been about 6 or 7 years since we had Jeff Grubb, but he and I stay in contact every year. He's always a judge in Three Castles Award, but his schedule is messed up. Now he's going to be at GaryCon this year, which sucks because GaryCon has got some great. They've got all our guests there. They're stealing all our guests, except for Raggy. They won't steal Raggy. They don't want him there. But other than
they won't steal Raggy. They won't steal Zach. They won't steal.
We don't have Zach.
No, I think Zach is a special guest at GaryCon.
No, I mean Zach.
Zach Smith? No, they won't.
Yeah, Zach Smith.
I love him. Zach Smith at GaryCon. Boy,
they won't touch the troll guy.
That'd be worse than Satine and Jameson the couple 2 years ago, or last year when they had was it last year they had the wedding? Is it been only that long? It seems like ages ago, Eric. Was it only last year when Satine and Jameson had the wedding at the?
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh! Only a year ago that we were subjected to that misery.
And then
you should have got. You should have got one of those, Mike. You should have got one of those ministry where you can become a minister, and you should have married him as Satan.
Well, my suggestion, which I thought was funny, is that we could have him come to North Texas and Satan could do the divorce. But that might be in bad taste. But we don't actually have good taste at the Midnight Office.
No, we don't.
So we could do a fake divorce if Eric is willing to dress up like Satine. Then we could have him have somebody dressed like Jameson, and there we go. We could have the fake.
There you
divorce.
go.
Well,
I don't cosplay.
You don't cosplay.
I don't cosplay, man.
Oh. Darn it.
Well, if we can get Spawn back, he could be the guy you're divorcing.
Oh dear God! This story spells itself right here. James Spawn and Eric divorcing
is done.
Oh, this is great. It's just a question of who's in drag, James or.
And for the parting shot, Eric can kick him in the.
No.
Eric can kick him.
No, not kicking, for goodness.
Inside joke, folks.
Yes, very inside.
Very. It's
so inside that to explain it would make it not funny. If you explain it's not funny anymore.
That's true.
But it's So no, everything's going great. We're really excited this year. I'm super excited. Gary has done just such a bang up job. He has done all the stuff that Doug wanted to do, that Doug would do, that I don't want to do at all. I don't want to touch what Gary does, and he's doing that. It's taking him a while because he has a real job. Actually, Doug had a real job too, but Doug was a little obsessed about the con in some ways. He would, oh, I've got to do something, and he would just take 3 days in a row straight, not sleep, and get something done. And Gary, bless his heart, needs sleep. And we have to have him sleep, and he's got a important job as an accountant he's got to do. So,
is he an accountant? I didn't know that.
Yes, he's a very, very good accountant too. But so we're we have I guess I'm going to throw this out. Gary's not listening, right? Gary's not here. Gary's not popped in. So we had a couple people that we were kind of crossing our fingers on, and we weren't going to talk about. One was Dennis, and Dennis came through and said, "Yes, I'm going to definitely come." But we have some special guests that we can't talk about. The only 2 people that know about the special guests are Gary and I, and they're going to blow your socks off if they say yes. And one of them said yes.
Do I need to bring anything to be signed?
Wait and see if the special guest.
You can tell me off. You can tell me after the show.
I can't tell you.
I don't even know, Glenn.
No, these are. This is too.
Too secret.
Yes, too secret. Now, I will tell you that one of the special guests we were really close to asking was Ed Greenwood, and we had decided against it, not because we don't love Ed, because we want Ed, but because it's just we already have so many special guests. We're not going to ask anybody new. We're going to wait for people that we already asked to see if they say yes, because there was a couple of names on that list that were like, we have 32 guests, Eric, on our list now. This is a convention with only 500 people. We have 32 special guests. That may be enough for people to
maybe.
So
it might.
The only way we're adding to that total is if any of our super secret people that we asked, but they're going to get back to us to say yes. That's what they were asking. And Dennis was one of them, because we wanted Dennis to come. We said, if you can make it this year, great. If not, and then he contacted us, said, "Yep, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there." So
I already asked you about Mark Hunt, so I figured that I tried to do that to get him incentive to come.
We would love,
we missed him last year.
Every year we have a few people that are just kind of people that never, like this year we have Keelan Halverson, who is a really good artist, goes by the name of Wonky, young kid, great dude. He comes in from Alaska every year. We wanted to spotlight him, so we asked him to be a special guest. He was overjoyed. He's running 4 games. No, he's running 6 4-hour games. He's running 6 games because he got so excited when we invited him to be a special guest. But we're going to try to look for new people to invite as special guests, because what happens is all these cons, they end up, like if you look at us and GaryCon, we have the same special guests. I mean, it's the same. You end up having the same special guests, and then if you look at Gamehole, we've got the same special guests as Gamehole. They've all these cons now. There's a reason for this. Is that regional? It makes sense because a lot of people aren't going to go to Gamehole and GaryCon in North Texas. So having the same guests at all 3 of those isn't bad, because you may only make one of those 3. But we do like to be different and try to have some different names. We have Ben Barsh, Bill's younger son, is going to be a special guest his first ever time.
Bill and Ben.
Cool. Yes, but we have a few people that aren't going to show up this year. Like Bill Webb can't make it this year. Alex Kamer's not going to be able to make it this year. So
Bill Webb is not going to make it.
Bill Webb's not going to make it. His son is graduating high school. His son's graduating high school.
The 7th seal has broken.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, but there'll be Frog Guy representation there. Ken Spencer will be there, which, by the way, we're going to have Ken Spencer. Eric and I are going to have Ken Spencer on the show, I think, Wednesday. I think he's our guest Wednesday. He's supposed to be our guest Wednesday.
We have you on Wednesday is my question.
That's the question. So you may or may not have me. You may have Bill Barsh as your side talking to Ken Spencer.
Well,
so be ready
to
talk to Ken Spencer. So. But no, Ken Spencer is one of our top writers for Frogger Games. It just he's got a Kickstarter right now, one of his items, and he's an archaeologist, which is kind of cool. I think a game guy that's an archaeologist. He's a very he does a lot of cosplay stuff. He's a cool dude. So he's going to be a special guest. Zach is not a special guest because we don't let Zach be special guest.
He's
Zach cannot be a special guest. That was Doug's proclamation. Zach will never be a special guest at our con. But you never know. When Doug's moved on to a higher plane, maybe Zach needs to move into special guestdom. We'll see. So I don't know. We'll see how that
I'm working to get there because I'm old. I don't know how many more years I can keep coming.
Well, we did have a so one of our
Becky
things was
lets me.
we were going to start doing. We're going to have at least one podcaster every con. We had Jason Hobbs last year.
That's right, you did.
And we always have, of course, we always have Mike and Liz Stewart who they do the save for half,
roll for half,
save for half, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
And then they do that. So we have a spot for a podcaster. So you never know, Glenn. We'll try to work you in one of these years.
I just hope Luau Lou is coming and have that.
Yeah, he's coming. He's got
that podcasters breakfast was really nice, and I thank him for doing.
Is he doing that again this year? He needs to do that again.
Know.
It was he did a great job last year. So no, he's coming this year. He has his table. He has a table for. By the way, he has a veterans table set up. He was asking people if they're not going to come to the con, he'll sell their stuff. Maybe Mark Hunt needs to talk to Luau Lou, and he can sell his stuff.
I'm sorry, Tammy.
I know.
Look forward to see you.
They're not going to make it. I know. It sucks.
I know. That's too bad.
Your daughters are going to graduate a lot in life. How many times are you going to go see North Texas? Come on.
Yeah. And me.
Yes. And Glenn's not going to be able to make it forever. He's older than me. I turned 60 next week.
That's what, I'm waiting for Becky to put the hammer down and say, we can't afford this.
Come on.
Save it for when when that happens.
Come on, I don't want to hear that.
And you get to see this guy.
Tenkar's asleep. Did Tenkar fall asleep? No, he's reading comments. He's trying to keep up with comments.
Tenkar and Mrs. Tenkar.
Yeah.
Yes, the Tenkar. And
I was hoping. I don't know if he is, but I was hoping that Tim Snyder would be there.
A couple of years ago, Tim doesn't really do conventions anymore because he had a lot of eye problems. And we loved having Tim.
Right, I thought he was over that. Yeah, he's fun.
He might be, but I know he had a horrible. I mean, he had just some horrible stuff the last few years. His eye and complications, and I think he pretty much lost his eye. And Tim runs some great games. If you go to a convention, if he ever does anything locally, I don't know, but if Tim Snyder's running a game, you need to get in that game. He did
a fantastic Thundar the Barbarian game, and I remember him running Tune for Ration Eric. That was fun.
He does some great genre games. He does some cool genre type stuff.
Time Master was Rachel's first full RPG, except for the one TNT session I ran it through like a few years before that. Time Master with Tim Snyder, because I picked a game with a good GM and a system that nobody would know at the table because it was out of print for so long. I figured how many are going to be playing it that actually remember it, besides Tim and myself.
Right.
Worked out well.
Well, that's the way Gangbusters started with me at the con.
Tammy, I always look drowsy.
This is the end of the week. He's already done 18 blog spots.
Yeah,
2 or 3 shows. He's starting to wear down. He gets his second win Saturday night.
Oh, well, listen, I multitask. Here's a little secret. When these two are talking all their movie shit, and I'm like, I don't fucking know. I was like, hey, guess what? Blog post time.
Oh, he was working while we were talking. We were carrying the show, Glenn, and he was sitting there doing a blog post.
Yeah, I was doing.
I should have known. I should have known we had to do the heavy lifting.
There we
go.
Of course.
I can't talk any movies before like the 19th. You want to talk like classic cop movies? I could. The 7-Ups, great.
Fort Apache, the Bronx.
Apache,
Fort Apache, the Bronx. I lived it, man. I worked in those commands that were showcased there. I knew all the locations. It was great driving around as a rookie going, holy fuck. That's the place where, they filmed The Jumper. I was like, oh, okay. Hey, our parking lot used to be a building where people were throwing bottles down at the cops. And now it's rubble and we park in it. And it literally was rubble.
It was still rubble.
It was, dude, yeah.
I was watching.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I was watching this one film noir. I can't remember the name of it, but it had Sterling Hayden in it and a couple other people. And then I watched it with the commentary, and the commentary was like James Orsini and Elroy, the guy who wrote James Elroy.
The noir novel.
The
He's a
author.
novel writer. Yeah. James
Yeah,
Elroy,
and he was just, because they filmed that movie on location in LA in the 50s, and he was just having a wet dream over it, because it's like, oh yeah, that's where the old cop, that's where they used to pull him up and bring in all the suspects. That's where they used this, because they filmed it in the actual LAPD old building at the time, and he was just like geeking out over it. And it was funny.
He writes all these. He wrote L.A. Detectives, whatever story.
L.A. Confidential.
Confidential. Yeah, he's a great writer. Really interesting story. His mom was a prostitute that was killed by a serial killer, and so
that's right.
He took a series. Then he began writing really dark detective books. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, he's really into the L.A. mythos and all the stuff that went on in the 50s, all the crazy, the Rampart stuff, and all the crazy stuff that went on in the 50s. Even earlier than that was, he writes about that. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
He said he saw Sterling Hayden. He said, "Fuck Cameron. That's Bud White." Sterling Hayden.
Hey, did any new gaming news happen this week, or did we skip? I didn't see the first part of your show, so I don't.
No, I think nothing new since our Wednesday.
It's been quiet.
Nothing new.
Listen. All right. So the publisher of Zweihander, who also publishes this Calvin and
Throwing the towel.
Throwing a towel for publishing RPGs. Not a huge surprise, since Daniel Fox left his position with the company at the end of 2022. So it kind of read as this might be the future is now, and no longer. So it led to a cancellation of a game or two that have to find a new home, and Zweihander will be looking for a new home down the line, I guess.
But it's not because I had a friend of mine contact me the other day. Goes, hey, your company should buy Zweihander. I said they're still going to be published, just not by the same company, because he was misunderstood. He thought they weren't going to be published anymore. Like, no. That once you have an idea out there, it'll always be published now. It's just that it's going to be published under.
And listen, Daniel Fox, God bless him, learned how to manipulate, scam, fudge, run the numbers at drive-through. So he had the deal of the day like 6 times a fucking month. It was in fucking sane.
Yeah.
And the fact that drive-through allowed it to play out that way, shame on them. Daniel played the system. He
knew what to do. He was a very good marketer. Very good marketer.
But a shame on them for allowing one product to be like the sole deal of the day.
Yes, just dominate them.
That was horrible. And then we talked like, oh, there was no deal today. Oh, there's nothing in the hopper, but then this fucking shit comes up again. So, sorry. I get angry over bullshit like that. But we've passed the witching hour, Glenn.
What?
Yes. Doc wants to know, how are we on heist movies? You mean
don't get us started. It's too late in the show to get started.
My favorite heist movie of all time. My favorite heist movie of all time is Kelly's Heroes.
Right,
because that's
a crazy
heist movie.
Heist movie in World War II
disguised as a war movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Killing's really good. If you ever see Stanley Kubrick's The Killing,
The Killing is good.
Great heist movie there. It's very very advanced for its time. But we don't have time to even get into that. Why won't you bring that up this late?
Because Doc said so.
Doc's a pain in the ass, and he's not a real doctor. So there, maybe he is.
Why does Zweihander have a market?
Because
why do any of the retro clones have a market? I mean, all the retro clones all have a market because, I mean, honestly, who wants to buy all the giant Warhammer rule books when you can just buy Zweihander and play Warhammer? I mean, that's what a lot of these OGL, these OSR publications, that's what they feed off of. I mean, Labyrinth Lord is both of the basic and expert books together in one easy to find format.
Advanced Labyrinth, yeah.
Advanced Labyrinth Lord is better. Better. I mean, Swords of Wizardry, you don't have to buy the white box. There you go. But plus, white box is really unplayable as written. So, Swords of
Old
Wizardry
School Essentials, 2 books.
Yeah. So
with the advanced,
and these books have indexes, which probably blow your mind. But the Player's Handbook ADD had no index. You just had to flip through there. You were graded by your knowledge of how quickly you could flip through the rule book and find the rule instead of having to flip to the back and look at the index. So,
or just dirty up page 75.
Is that a real doctor?
Page 75.
75. Page 75, the attack matrix.
Please, everybody.
I found the trick to Thaco finally.
There's a trick.
It's all about the differences. You have a Thaco. You roll a D20. Whatever you roll, the difference between your Thaco and the D20 roll, that's the AC you hit. It's like,
who doesn't know that? Why is that hard for people? I don't get it.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh no, you aren't on the Thaco's Hammer show, are you?
that's right.
Yeah,
All right. That explains everything, folks.
why haven't you guys done a show in a while? What's going on? You could do a show.
You try herding cats
We need to think of Thaco's Hammer show. Yeah,
or
Been forever.
raiding elephants.
it's been
No.
forever, ever.
We're still out
You
there.
try milking a bull. That's what it's like. See, I can
Yeah.
understand it now.
Yes. Mating elephants, milking a bull, herding cats. That's pretty much it. Usually comes down to if we have at least 3 people, we'll do a show. But that's not always possible either. But we're still out there. So I think we recorded one last month. Yeah, last month. I forget what the hell it was all about. Brian's the brains of that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the face, he's the brains.
Yes.
And full on's the heart.
And what a
If he
face
doesn't-
and what a brain. Yes, there we go.
Yeah, and full on gamer's the heart, and God bless him, he keeps sending me anime Blu-rays.
If this, Mr. Gunn, if this is a family show, you got my.
That's another reason why we don't very often, because they'll always say, "Oh, did you watch this or that?" And says, "I haven't even cracked this stuff." So yeah,
Who has time nowadays? That's the problem. I had to work in the. I worked in the Randolph Scott movie because my wife went to bed early one night and I wasn't tired, and so I was like, oh, let's crack this
There you
DVD set open. So, and tonight, who knows? I took a long nap and I woke up at 8 o'clock, and
Exactly.
I may be up to 3 a.m. So maybe there may be another Randolph Scott movie on tap tonight.
Oh, of course. Well, I gave you some suggestions, so
right.
go for it. Anyway, should we? I guess we should.
We should probably wrap. We'll wrap it up.
Okay.
By the way, we're going to give a huge thanks to. I call him my once a week work spouse, but Mike's been popping in more often than that. So, my real spouse, who shall remain nameless because somebody has a problem with her name, might get jealous. Sorry, Mike. I don't want to put you in the box, man.
No, I will cede time for Rachel anytime.
Okay.
Good night, Mr. Gunn.
She's awesome.
Yeah. That's a paddling.
Huge thank you to Glenn, because Glenn is just fun.
And huge thank you to Eric. And
thank you, sir. Shall we do this again in 2 weeks?
And Bad Mike. I'm not looking at my crotch. I'm looking at Bad Mike.
Okay. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm all right with it.
Bad Mike is my crotch.
Thanks for letting me pop on. So I could talk movies with Glenn, because that's
pop off.
One of these days we're going to do a whole show. It's going to be Glenn and I movie talk, and Eric, you're just going to have to sit back and just listen to us, and we're going to do our 10 favorite movies for every genre.
You can do it whenever you want, and I will just play in the background.
We're going to come with a list. We're going to have 10 best westerns, 10 best film noir, 10 best war movies, and you're just going to have to sit back and listen. Just going to
here's the thing: you're going to have to call it something different. All right, and maybe you put it on a different night than when the regular live streams.
Ooh, a special.
It'd be a special, and it could be
Dungeons and Popcorn. Dungeons and Popcorn.
Whatever.
Popcorn and Dragons. I don't know.
Maybe that's the
You know,
the show.
that's
That's the
the
show I need to
ticket.
do. That's the show that's
That's the
calling
ticket.
out for me to do on
There you go.
YouTube.
Movies and dragons. How about that, man?
I thought you were going to say movies in. I thought you were going to say movies in
drag?
drag.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Movies
no.
and drag.
If we have to do it, we'll do it.
No.
But no,
Men on
seriously,
film. Men on film.
Mhm.
I don't know. We'll figure out an interesting title for it. It can be an irregular special because we are irregular people, folks.
Okay.
Huge thank you to everybody that participated in the live stream. You do make the show what it is. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Rach and I, Gamers Health, described as hanging out with Eric and Rachel as opposed to spending time with Tenkar on my live stream. So I guess you get more personal.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Glenn.
No, I just want to plug Thaco's Hammer and Monday my new retooled Radio Grognard.
New.
Whoa! With you buried the lead here.
You mentioned it before.
Retooled. Whoa, hold
You
on.
mentioned
What's
it
going on
earlier.
here?
I haven't put anything up since the first, and I said I'm retooling the show to do three days a week, up to 30 minutes. So I'm making it longer. I'm just not doing it every day. And Monday I'm going to launch it. I've already made plans. I've already got things going.
Okay, I'm interested. See that this is buried.
I don't know where
This
it's
is
going to
buried.
go, but we're going to go it. We're going to do it. Yes, you weren't awake yet.
So now you're awake.
Yes.
Well, by the way, folks, again, the link at the bottom is for Pathfinder 2 bundle. I will put that link in I'll pin it as a show note. There's two good links up for Humble Bundle. I'll make sure you get a chance to look at them both. Folks, safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well.
Thank you, Mike, for coming. Thank you.
Yeah,
Aaron,
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for letting me pop
being my
on.
partner.
Yes, thanks for letting me pop on. I appreciate it, guys.
Night, folks.
Woohoo!
Later.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Retool Glenn Monday.